Hello. Oh my gosh, it's kind of hard to reach out here, but hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. You can probably tell what we're doing today based on what's in front of me. But today I am going to be giving you a little tour of my K-pop shelves. Someone requested me to do this in one of my last videos, and I was like, you know what, why not? And this weekend seemed like a great time to do it, because I still have not been able to order my NCT Dream albums because Catch-Up is not stocking the digipacks for some reason. So I don't really got anything else going on. So this is what we're gonna do. I have a lot of albums, but I do not have a lot of space. I have a lot of albums that I want to sell that are stashed all over my closet, and these ones, even despite me trying to want to sell a lot of them, obviously I still have space issues, as you can probably tell, for my albums, and there's not really much I can do about that besides like selling more of them, and I'm at a point where I want all the albums that I have, so I don't want to sell any more of them, but I also don't really have room for them, and it's a bit of a dilemma. I think I'm going to have to hold my camera out by hand today, so if it'll work, my camera work is a little bit shaky, I apologize. My bookshelf is just very tall. I'm so sorry that you have to see this, but it's above my desk, which is an absolute mess at all times. There's so much shit here. There's my Bomgyu sweater, but it is like a built-in above my desk. It also goes down there, and so obviously it has to be pretty tall because of that. It goes almost to the top of my room, and at the top I have my manga collection. As you can tell, I'm a big Yona of the Dawn fan, but I'm not going to be really going into that, nor my Sergei Mas books over there, and then the rest of my books are on a different bookshelf in my room. We're just going to be focusing on the cubes that have my K-pop albums, so yeah. If you're curious about any of my books, I can answer questions, but I don't really plan on showing them because they're not like a part of this. But yeah, so I'm going to show you each cube by hand. As I said, I will have to handhold my camera. So I hope that the camera work is not annoying because I've never really done that before. But that's honestly the best way to do this because, like, as you can see, I kind of have to like be like over my desk to show those shelves. So that's just the way that it's gonna be. I might be standing on my desk on some of this, but it's fine. So yeah, let's just get started. I think I'm going to go, where should I start? Honestly, we'll start with my EXO shelf because that's like low to the ground, and then we'll go up to everything else. So yeah. All right, so here we are with my EXO album shelf. If you hear me like taking a deep breath or sighing at all or anything, it is because I'm still feeling a bit of the symptoms of having COVID. I'm pretty much recovered, but the breathlessness is still kind of there, so please excuse that. I will try to put music in the background like I did in my last video. I made it a little bit loud intentionally in my last video, to be honest, to compensate for the fact that you wouldn't hear me like the whole time. But I'll try to keep it more low-key this time, but yeah, that's kind of the situation. So yeah, before that, down here is where I keep all of my binders. Some of these are not active collections anymore, like this was my Enhypen binder that I need to downsize. This is my TXT larger inclusions that you literally never see. It needs a new binder so bad, it's so full, but these are all my EXO photo cards. I have 5 bajillion EXO photo cards, oh my god, because of, as you can see, how many albums I have. And then these are all my extra like other album larger inclusions. A lot of things I need to downsize in there. Extra boy group and girl group photo cards back there, but yeah. And then this is all my binder supplies. So yeah, that is that. But here is my EXO shelf. I have some earlier first press albums, but a lot of the early albums are second press. The earliest first press one I have is Overdose. So that's pretty cool, but yeah. Anyway, so also I mostly only collect the Korean versions of their albums because they're the same thing as the Chinese ones, really, and I only listen to the Korean versions of the music. So yeah, I like the way Korean music sounds, or I like the way the Korean language sounds sung a little bit more than Chinese. So plus in their later releases they're only in Korean, so yeah. I do really like which one? I feel like I kind of like Obsession Chinese version though. She's kind of a slapper. Anyway, that's not really important. So first over here I have the XOM and XOK versions of Mama, and then XOM and XOK versions of XOXO, then the Korean version of the Growl repackage, then Miracles in December, the Korean version, Overdose, Korean version. Then for Exodus, I have Seon, Baekhyun, and Kyungsu's covers. And then I have Love Me Right, Korean version. And then I have Sing For You, Seon, and Baekhyun's covers. It's not really intentional that I happen to have both of theirs. I just like pick them up when I see them in stores, when I see a member I don't have. So those are just the ones I happen to have right now. But then we have the Lucky One and the Monster versions of Exact, their best album obviously, and the Lotto repackage, which made the album even better. And then I have 2016 Winter Special, which is one of their best photo books. Speaking of photo books, I actually really want to do an EXO album collection. But let me know if you'd be interested in that, because if you are interested, then I will do it sooner rather than later. But if you aren't as interested, then it'll probably be later in the summer. But yeah, anyway, then I have all three versions of Kpop, The War Power of Music, Universe, and I have, I think, the DVD package version of Countdown. But Immaculate Album, Countdown is iconic. Is that what I said? Then I have this Donde Nature Republic standee that I got when I was in New York one time, when they were still the brand ambassador, and so she stays here. He looks so handsome, obviously, so yeah. Then I have the Jewel Case version of Don't Fight the Feeling with the CD on display, because this CD is so pretty. I love that it has all 9 planets, and even though 2 of them are kind of shaded out, what was this? No, Minseok is, whose planets are those? Who isn't in this comeback? Oh my god. Brain hurt. Suo isn't in it, and who's the other person? Is the other one Kyungsu? No, Kyungsu is in this. Is that supposed to be Lay's? But Lay was kind of in it. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. You kind of get the idea. You can see their powers like envisioned in the planets. No, that one's definitely Lay's, so I don't remember. Oh, Jondae. Stupid. Jondae and Suo's planets are darked out, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Then I have all 4 versions of Tempo, plus an extra of one of them that I found like partially open at Barnes & Noble, and Kai's photo card was slipping out of it, and I was like, you know what, that's a really cute card, so I bought the album to get the card since I knew I didn't already have it. And then I have both versions of Love Shot. These ones are second press. Everything else from like Lotto onwards is first press though, so yeah, I just for some reason didn't buy those. I think it was because I thought Love Shot was kind of a weak repackage, which I know it's one of their most popular songs, but to me it's not very like EXO. I don't know. But anyway, then I have all 3 versions of Obsession. I don't have the Kino, and now it's pretty hard to find, but I don't really care. It's a Kino. And then I have all the other versions of Don't Fight the Feeling, being the 2 photo books and the 6 member covers. So yeah, that is my entire EXO shelf. She's pretty beefy. I won't lie to you, I have a lot of EXO albums. This is not even all of them because all my solos and subunits are mixed in with everything else, so this is all just full group albums, which is pretty crazy. But let's move on to my tiny album shelf now. So here we are with the cube of all of my itty bitty albums. These just like did not really fit with the kind of mid-sized photo book albums over here, so I decided to keep them separate, but in the front we have Kai's Flickbook album, which is just a really awkward size, and then one of Dream's Hello Future Kinos, and then I have the Red Velvet Feel My Rhythm Orgel version with Joy's Sandy that I pulled. So let me move these out of the way. Anyway, so here is the overview of this shelf. So I have Red Velvet's Peekaboo, Red Velvet's RBB, Mikey Mikey's Weekend LOL, Dreams, Hot Sauce, this is Haechan's version, I believe, and then Sticker, 21's Crush, one of the best albums ever made, one of Chaelin's Alpha albums. I have all 3 versions, the 2 jewel cases and the vinyl, but the vinyl is with all of our vinyl in my living room, so yeah. And I have both versions of Kyungsu's Digipacks. One of the best EXO solo albums, if I'm being honest. Like, it's so goddamn good. I love Empathy. And then we have one of Suo's Gray Suit Digipacks, which is definitely my favorite of his solo albums. I don't own any of his first one because I was very mid about it. I would like a version of it at this point, but Gray Suit is definitely elite. Decanting? Oh my god, Decanting is such a good song. I absolutely love it. Then I have Jimin's Glitch Mode Digipack, Dear My Dear, a bunch of NCT Kinos. This one is Luna's and then the other Hello Future. So that is the tiny shelf. Now we will move on to my black and white shelf. Alright, so the black and white albums are, plus the brown one, are all in this kind of long vertical shelf. Normally my Lego Voltron is, in case you were worried that I wasn't a huge nerd, I am, don't worry, but my Lego Voltron normally sits in front of this, but I put him out of the way to be able to show you these. So let's get into it. Down here I have Boa's One Shot, Two Shot, incredible album. A version of Twice's Feel Special, all of my Luna albums, so Hustle, Hustle and Vivi, Love and Live, Love and Evil, with the iconic little remix on the end. She's amazing. If you can get the Love and Evil disc, do it. It's like a really nice listen because I love that little remix. It feels like Mario Kart music. I think it's a remix of Love and Live, but it's just really cute. Or maybe one of the B-sides, I don't really remember, but it's really cute. Then I have Plus Plus. One of these is First Press. I think it might be this one. Yeah, no, it must be this one. I think this one's a First Press Plus Plus album. And then this is the other one, but these are A and B. Then I have my limited XX album, the one where they're all with the butterfly wings on the cover. It's beautiful. One of my prized possessions. Probably the most expensive K-pop item I own, if I'm being honest. Like, those usually are like over $100, aren't they? So that's pretty cool. Then I have the D version of And because it was my favorite version after I downsized my Hustle collection. Then I have one version of Baekhyun City Lights, Punch, Resonance, Superhuman, April on a Flower, The Other Side of the Moon, My Beloveds Come Back, Dreamcatchers, Apocalypse, and then this one is the album with Odd Eye, Stray Kids Go Live limited version, Resonance Part 2, We Boom, Reload, Empathy, this one is First Press, Sticker, I think this is the Seoul City version, the other version is City Lights, WJSN The Black My Attitude, one of the best subunits ever made. Please come back soon. First full group comeback, but then My Beloveds come back. Also, WJSN just won Queendom, and I absolutely love that for them. I think that they really, really deserve it. They're a very, I don't know, they're just a really incredible group with really good music, but their company does not support them at all, so I was really excited to see them win, and hopefully they'll have some better promotion from that. VPR Ian's Mido, one of my favorite albums ever made. We Go Up, the other version of Chaelin's Alpha, Dun Dun Dance, the gay version of Irene and Silky's Monster, Happy Pride, and then NCT Dreams, the first. So that is this whole shelf, and now we will do the rainbow shelf. Okay, so this is my little rainbow shelf. This is kind of a catch-all for all the non-black and white albums. I might, before I move on to my specific group cubes, I might show you where all my longer albums are, because they didn't really fit in here, so I put them under my nightstand, but they're kind of sad looking, but I guess I'll show it to you. But in the front, I have the, I think, girls version of Queendom. Iconic packaging, obviously. She's so pretty. Like, yeah. Then I have my Red Velvet light stick from when I saw them in concert. I did Red Mare Day 2 in LA. It was amazing. I will always treasure it. But there is my light stick. Then we'll start at the top. We have Red Velvet's River Festival Day 1 guidebook version, Red Summer, Blooming Days Best Album Ever Made, and ST127's Cherry Bomb, their best album by far. Every single song on this album is amazing, so yeah. River Festival Finale, River Festival Day 2 with my queen Oompa Oompa, their best title track, not sorry. I said what I said. River Festival Day 1, Irene's version. Yeti is my bias, but this was in my local Barnes & Noble, so I decided to get it. Minisode Blue AR version. I just have some extra Minisode albums, so I stuck them in here because I don't want to get rid of them. I use them for collaging. Russian Roulette, Hot Sauce, one version of Dear My Dear, the Sheep album, which is gorgeous. Not as gorgeous as Nama Nana, the queen, but pretty good. Photo book wise, I mean. Obviously, Nama Nana is elite in every way. The thing that fell was my Hustle On Wave standee thingy that I didn't ever get rid of, so she just stays right there. Resonance, Favorite, Hot Sauce, Haze's, the album with Jenga on it, and then the NCT Dream album where they're at the beach. I don't remember what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Then I have the group version of XOSC's What a Life. God, Borderline is such a good fucking song. I miss the EXO subunits. Okay, like obviously I miss the full group, but EXO subunits hit. Like, I want an EXO CBX or SC comeback so bad, but it obviously like cannot happen for a while, so that's really depressing. But yeah, then I have two of the same version of Kick It, Bombe Bombe, you know what I mean. And then WJSN's Would You Please, Lucy's A Light Sleep. I think I'm gonna sell a lot of my Lucy albums. I think I'm only gonna keep the first two, because those are the ones I like the most, but some of their music is still good, but a lot of their releases like don't hit for me, so I decided to stop collecting their albums. But I was a supporter from like Flowering, so kind of sad, but yeah, that's just how I feel. Can't help it. Then I have Chanyeol's version of What a Life. Bestie, go back in. What are you doing? Ugh. No, it's stuck. Okay, there we go. Then I have Joy's photo book version of her solo, two versions of Sticker, another version of Hot Sauce, Nama Nana the Queen, one of the most beautiful albums ever, the green version of For the Summer by WJSN, Jonday's version of Hey Mama, the other version of the Bumby photo book, 1 billion views group version. Whew, this is a lot to say. Summer Holiday Limited, Dreamcatcher, Punch, Universe, Empathy, Resonance, Favorite, another Minisode album, Red Velvet's Summer Magic, Wendy's solo, Eyes Wide Open retro version, the other version of Dear My Dear, Seon's version of 1 billion views because I desperately needed the photo shoot of him on the horse, and then a DVD of Whisper of the Heart because it's one of my favorite Ghibli movies. I'm a big Ghibli fan, and it's one of my favorites because the protagonist is a creative writer, and I am literally going to college to study creative writing, and I want to be a novelist, so it's very cute to me. But quickly before we move on to my group theme cubes, I'm going to show you where all my bigger albums are. Unfortunately, I can't display like my photo books and kit things because they're too big, so they hide in my closet, but some of the larger albums do stay out. So let me show you those. So here we are over at my nightstand. It's kind of a mess. All my posters sit in this like umbrella tube thing over here, and there are so many I need to get rid of in there, but because they're busted or I'm not gonna hang them or whatever, but it's fine. This nightstand is really old and I'm trying to get it replaced, but the replacement just like is not shipping, so yeah, she stays. But obviously, as you can see, I like plug in all my electronics down here. Here's my bed. It's kind of gross and a mess, but we'll just pretend like it's fine. But obviously all my big albums fit under here pretty nicely, so I've decided to just put them over here at the moment. But we have the ginormous version of Queendom, Limitless, foul, packaging, awful, but the album's pretty good. Both versions of regular, the T version of Neozone, Weki Meki's Cool album. I don't think that's actually what it's called. It's New Rules. I think it's called New Rules. These are all leaning now. Oh well, we're just gonna have to live with it. Beckham's Delight. I believe this is the honey version. It's the cute one. Boa's Better. Both versions of Hello Future. One of Kai's photo book versions of his album, which is really gorgeous. This is the big version of Sticker. The photo book of Chungsu's Empathy, also beautiful. The big versions of Glitch Mode, and then I have a Haiku, the anime / manga like illustration book here. It's super pretty. I was a big Haiku fan in middle school, and it's very nostalgic to me, so I decided to get the art book when it came out, and it's very pretty. Then I have this Hayao Miyazaki art book that my mom got for me for Christmas, I think, and it's really pretty. And then my memories and my NConnect DVD are there. And then Lucy's Panorama is here. These are like the big square sized albums. GWSN's The Keys, and then the Park in the Night trilogy. I bought the case sleeve like secondhand because I mean it's beautiful, but the first 3 albums all sit in here. So yeah, I love this case though. Like the design of it is gorgeous. So when I saw it for like pretty cheap on Mercari Japan, I just bought it because I think it's really pretty. So yeah, these are all leaning now, which sucks, but there we go. And they're gonna stay like that. Okay. That was all my big photo books. Not that interesting. I tried to keep them like vaguely in chronological order. I don't think Kai's album should be here. I don't know where Better is supposed to go either, but they're like sort of ish where they're supposed to be. Obviously not Queendom, but it's just too big, so it had to be on the end. But yeah, now we will move back over to my cubes. All right. So here we are back at my cubes. So let me show you my funnest cube first, which is basically a Cheong shrine. Is anyone surprised? No. So I have the oh man, this is harder than I thought. Wait, let me show this stuff in the front first. So I have her 2 heart little acrylic standee. I found it for like really cheap one day on Mercari Japan, already opened, and so I just bought it. I would love to get the 2-day one as well, but it's usually quite expensive, so she can stay here though. Then I have an extra one of her 9-way ticket IDs because I have literally 5 million of these, so it can just stay there. And then I have the jewel case I decorated, and not to toot my own horn, but I think it's really pretty, so I really like to have it displayed. Also, like post Midnight Guest, Love Is Around has become like my second favorite B-side after OG on the album. It's really gorgeous. Like I feel like I did not give her the credit she deserved when she initially came out. OG is probably my favorite from a song ever, but Love Is Around is really good. And so yeah, I think this turned out cute though. But let's look at my albums. So first I have the blue version, of 2 Heart right here. Both versions of My Little Society. Both versions of 9-way ticket, Talk and Talk, Midnight Guest. And then I have her N-Wave signed albums for Midnight Guest. I just don't really have room to display them, so they stay here. Then I have the 9-way ticket Kino, all the member jewel cases, the Kinos, and then these were the little boxes that the Period or Benefit Polaroids came in, so those stay there. But yeah, that's the From a Shelf. I really wish I could have all their albums, but I'm not paying like $60 for a Sun Damaged 2-day album, so I can't really see myself completing their album collection unless they reprint their albums, which kind of sucks, but not much you can really do about it, so yeah. Anyway, next up we have my Enhypen shelf. Here she is. Kind of a little bit of a mess, but I can't be bothered to care. So I have the N-Connect DVD photo card, which is one of my favorite J cards, and the little sleeve thing that came from the Pieces of Memory in the front here. And then I also have my Enhypen light stick. There's no batteries in it, but here she is. And then I have this little top loader I decorated with one of his Japanese cards. So yes, she stays right here. That's kind of cute, to be honest. So whatever. Anyway, to the albums. Oh, on top I also have his birthday bracelet box. This little extra collect book that has like extra Enhypen and TXT cards in it. Where's my boy? There he is. Wonderful. But I have a complete Enhypen album collection. So Border Day 1, Dawn and Dusk, Border Carnival, all 3 versions, Dimension Dilemma, all 3 versions, Dimension Answer, both versions, and an extra just to keep this like compact together. And then I have 2 versions of Border Hakanai and 2 of the Dimension Dilemma Essential jewel cases. So yeah, that is the Enhypen collection. It's obviously not that much because they've only been a group for like, what, a year and a half. But their albums at least like look nice together, so I appreciate that. All right, I'm finally standing on my own 2 feet again. But we are at my Gfriend cubes. They get 2 cubes because they have a lot of albums and they look nicer all standing up vertically instead of stacked on top of each other, so they're gonna be like this. So in the front I have some Yerin items to celebrate her solo debut. This is the little photo frame from the Time for Us Limited album, and I have her postcard in the front, but all the other girlies are behind. So in the first cube we have Flower Bud, both versions of LOL, which is partially laughing out loud and partially lots of love. Then I have 1 version of Parallel, both versions of The Awakening, 1 version of Sunny Summer, the Time for Us Limited album, which is just so beautiful. Hello? Like, they pop the fuck off. I have the Time for Us Kino hiding down here, which I just found randomly when I went to LA last summer, and I was like, oh, she's mine. Sorry. I have 1 version of Fever Season. I don't know what the version names are, but it's that one. I'd love to have all the versions of Fever Season actually, because it's one of my favorite Gfriend albums. And the photo books are really pretty. It gets a lot of hate, but I think she's a stunner. Then I have my Season of Gfriend Encore Blu-ray, I think. But that's pretty nice. Whew. Then I have all 3 versions of Labyrinth, which is iconic. I have Song of the Sirens, all 3 versions, but they're split between 2 cubes. This one has Anna Standy, Anna, and Yerin is in this one. I believe I also have Umji and Shimbi for the Apple version, and I think I also have Yerin for this version, but these are just the ones I keep out here because they're in the best condition. I know this one is like pretty busted anyway, but it's still the best condition one I have. This version was really hard to find. This is the one where they're in like the broken room. This is the broken room version. But yeah, then I have a little extra hidden like Apple fold out thing that I just was too lazy to ever put back in the album, so it's always like sitting out here. And I have all 3 versions of Valpurgis Nights, being My Way, My Room, My Girls. And then the post hell, we have Yuju's Wreck, both versions. BB's is Beam of Prism. Their 2021 like Season's Greetings premium photo thing just sits here because I had it on display, but it was covering up the albums too much, but it's still really pretty, so I like to have it out. And then I put all my copies of Yeon's Aria here, just to like hold the albums in place so they wouldn't fall over, like that. Can you not? Oh my god. No! Okay. But whatever the next release is, I'll take these out to put it in. But yes, those were all of my Gfriend albums. I don't know, I'm missing quite a few of their albums, but at the same time I have a lot of them, so do with that what you will. But finally, we will move on to the last shelf in my collection. The only things I have not displayed over here besides like photo books, as I mentioned, are my signed albums. My BB's promo and my NMIXX signed albums are on my regular bookshelf, but those are the only like K-pop related things over there, so we don't need to worry about that. But let's look at this shelf. Alright, so this shelf contains my TXT, NMIXX, and Billlie albums. It's kind of a hodgepodge, but because these two groups don't have a lot of albums, I think they fit nicely over there. But yeah, so on the side I have these Freeze like Weaver's pre-order benefit magnet things. We don't really have anything magnetic in our house, so I put them on these little command strips to like display them anyway. But I managed to randomly pull Yeonjun, Bongyu, and Soobin, and their colors match like really nicely with the color of the frame, so I just decided to keep them there like that instead of storing them in my binder because I don't really collect that sort of thing for TXT anyway. But then I have this Soobin Fighter Escape standee here. Bongyu's is displayed on my desk, but I really like the colors in Soobin, so his gets to sit here. And then we have my TXT light stick. It has batteries in it because I'm going to the TXT concert and I didn't want to happen to like bring it without batteries, but after the concert I will take the batteries out and so they won't corrode it, but I don't think they're gonna corrode in like a month, so I think it's fine for now. But there she is. Then we have my TXT album collection. It is complete. I don't collect the Japanese albums, but the Still Dreaming one is here just because it's pretty. And then I do have some Chaotic Wonderland albums, but I think I put them in my closet because they're kind of ugly on the spine. But yeah. So down at the bottom we have both versions of Fighter Escape, all three regular versions of Freeze, plus an extra world, I think, that's upside down for some reason. Then I have both versions of Eternity, both versions of Magic, Star, Still Dreaming, the big one, the jewel case versions of Fighter Escape, and then all the digipack jewel case things for Thursday's Child. I took them out of the bags because the bags were fucking ugly and were like really hard to display, and I think they look cuter like this. They're in age order with Soobin first so that the pattern makes sense. Well, I always put Soobin first anyway, but yeah. Then I have the other Minisode albums, so Minisode Blue Hour, R, AR, and VR versions, and Minisode Thursday's Child, Hate, Mess, End versions. They really, they went from cute video game boys to little emo monsters. I kind of miss cute video game boys, but I still think they're putting out bangers, so I'll allow it. Then I have, I don't remember what his name is, but you know, the little purple mouse from Spirited Away. I think I got this at Barnes & Noble one time, and I just think it's cute, so he stays there, and he's holding the albums up. And then over here, I have NMIXX's blind package version, and the light version, and then the Village of Perception, and then the Collector's Soul, and the Unconscious. And then there's like an extra TXT poster back here, and these From Us print things that I made to go on my wall at one point. Honestly, kind of tempted to put them back up because I think they're pretty, but for right now they're just staying in there. And yeah, that was pretty much all of my K-pop albums. I imagine at this point I've amassed a few hundred, but I have been buying albums since 2017, so I guess that's 5 years, so you know, it makes sense that at this point I would have a lot of albums. Though obviously I started acquiring a significantly larger amount during quarantine because I was bored out of my mind. as everyone else was. Before that, I mostly had EXO, GOT7, Red Velvet, Luna, NCT albums. But since then, I have gathered a lot more bad boys in my collection, and I'm pretty happy with it overall. I, as always, wish that I had more space, but there's not really much I can do about that. As you can see, like, my room is not that big. Because of the shape of it being so weird, like, we're in like a cutout corner of my room over here, and so like nothing else can fit over here besides this, and then there's not really much extra wall space anywhere else in my room besides like where I need my bed and my dresser. So yeah, it's not really good to like put a lot of shelves in or anything. My parents are planning on moving after I go to college though, so hopefully in wherever they end up I can snatch some more shelf space so that I stop having this problem. But maybe I should also just stop buying so much shit, but you know that's impossible with me because I am a slave to capitalism. But yeah, anyway, this is gonna be a really damn long video, but I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I hope that you know that EXO-CBX have the greatest discography ever made in all of K-pop. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye!
고백을 한다. 고백을 한다. 안 한다. 한다. 안 한다. 한다. 불러봐. 사랑해.